Hey guys, it's Harrison and welcome back to Awkward Sports History. Check it out. We got a mic. I'm really moving up in the world. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Is Harrison really about to talk about an animated children's show's athletic events on his History Sports channel? Yeah, I am. You can't do anything about it. And you're watching it, which means that this was a good idea. The Fry Cook Games, Bikini Bottom's epitome of athletic competition under the sea. The Fry Cook Games is the best of the best in Bikini Bottom, and it features games such as the soda straw javelin throw, patty on the grilled discus, and fruit jello gymnastics. It also features legendary athletes such as tall green female fish, the fat orange fry cook fish, and Gus, which according to the SpongeBob Wikipedia page is also listed by the name of Incidental 37A. But while those are some very legendary fish at the Fry Cook Games, we still have to recognize two very important contestants throughout those first 20 years of the Fry Cook Games, and that is Mr. Eugene Krabs and Plankton. And if you thought that rivalry between the Krusty Krab and the Chum Bucket was intense at the restaurants, you don't even know how bad it got at the Fry Cook Games. All I gotta say is hold on to your hats, because this is about to get very wild. I will be doing the rest of this video while wearing this hat. The rivalry can come down to two specific events of the Fry Cook Games. The first event was when Mr. Krabs won the gold for performing a 500 pickle clean and jerk. Plankton retaliated when the medals were being given out by spraying water on his pants so it looked like he peed himself. But Plankton would soon get a gold himself by performing a perfect onion routine while he had a broken antenna. Fortunately for Krabs, he got a little bit of payback by just simply blowing him off the podium. It is truly wonderful to see a rivalry like this unfold. It really draws fan interest and brings up the ratings. So you'd have to think with the next generation, it's going to be even better. But little did we know, disaster was about to strike. Let's take a close in-depth look specifically at the 21st Fry Cook Games. The first sign of a bad omen for these Fry Cook Games came when we had our first casualty of the event. The poor Harold Bill Reginald Scott lit the torch to open the games and then was quickly burnt, or should I say torched, himself. But for now, we think that's the only problem that's going to happen. So Mr. Krabs and Plankton are now retired from competing athletically, so they now bring in their new representatives for their respective restaurants. Mr. Krab obviously brings in SpongeBob, and he is more than excited to be performing for the Krusty Krab. I mean, the man is literally yelling Krusty Krab with every single push-up he does. We haven't even found out yet who Plankton's participant is, but we already get a little bit of drama. So SpongeBob's friend Patrick shows up, and he's already interested in what's happening at the Fry Cook Games. And let's just say at one point, SpongeBob upsets him, and they start arguing about how, like, you're not a fry cook, and they call each other yellow and pink, and he storms off. And very shortly after, we are introduced to where Plankton's participant is. And then you start hearing these really big stomping sounds. The whole stadium is shaking. Mr. Krabs is so terrified his eyes go into his sockets. And as it thuds, you suddenly see this big crash and this big giant fish dude shows up. What's even worse is that the big fish guy, after literally killing people, is not even the participant. He's just carrying the participant, which, plot twist, turns out to be Patrick. You know, it's absolutely crazy. You take a close look. There's just a bunch of people here sitting in the stands, and then the whole thing just gets blown to bits. Like, people probably just died from this guy bursting through the door, and they just kept going. I mean, this is like Squid Game or something. So SpongeBob and Patrick are now ready to get out there and win that medal. But before we get to the actual games, we need to hear one of the most iconic screams from SpongeBob. I didn't really have a transition for that clip. I just really wanted it in this video because it is that iconic. So the first event in this year's Fry Cook Games is the Deep Fry Pole Vault. SpongeBob gets through this first event pretty successfully as he pulls off nearly a perfect jump. Patrick, meanwhile, screws up really badly by falling right on the handle of the deep fryer, sending a bunch of oil going flying into the stands and turns a bunch of fish into fish sticks. We are through one event and half the fans have already died. Like, what the hell? Like, geez, we like doing kill counts for like horror movie monsters. Can we just do a kill count just for Patrick alone? I mean, what is it, like 45 or 50? Did they all sign like a waiver? So that's like, if you die, too bad. Like, I know at a baseball game it says on the back of your ticket, like, too bad, so sad if you're hit by a foul ball. But I don't think it's acceptable just say on your ticket, yeah, you know, if you get turned into a fish stick, oh well. So while the remaining living fans commit cannibalism by ordering fish sticks, we're going to move on to the next event, the chocolate high dive. Fortunately, this event sets up nobody for death. SpongeBob, he's going to set himself up to have like that almond popsicle look. He sticks 2 popsicle sticks into his head before jumping, and it's going to impress the crowd a little bit. But Patrick has SpongeBob number on this event. He's going to go with a classic strawberry cone with a chocolate dip, and SpongeBob doesn't stand a chance. But then we move on to the final event of the Fry Cook Games, the biggest, most important one that decides everything: bun wrestling. What is bun wrestling, you ask? It's actually really not that, like, you know, punny or anything like the other ones were, or even Fry Cook related. It's literally just wrestling on a hamburger bun, a sesame seed bun specifically, because you can see right here there's seeds on it. And by this point in the Fry Cook Games, SpongeBob and Patrick are absolutely pissed as hell at each other, and Mr. Krabs and Plankton are loving it and milking it for what it's worth. These two old ex-athletes are doing everything they can to keep these two riled up for the fight, and man, are we in for one. SpongeBob gets up, takes off his robe, and holy crap is he jacked. Okay, hold up, time out. This is the same sponge that couldn't even lift stuffed animals in the pilot episode and then had to go get anchor arms just to look cool at the beach. But I guess for the Fry Cook Games, he was like, alright, time to get ripped. What's Patrick gonna do about this? Well, turns out he's also jacked as hell too for this. The two deck it out for a bit, and then SpongeBob really crosses a line. He takes the eraser side of a pencil and removes the first 3 letters from Patrick's name tag. And this is when SpongeBob realized Patrick is not going to take shit. Why? Here's what Patrick had to say. My name's not Rick! They fight a little more, and then, well, the fight stops because both of their pants fall off. Despite the fact that they've been using pink and yellow as insults, both of each other have the opposite color of underwear. SpongeBob has pink underwear and Patrick has yellow underwear, and the two realize that they still care about each other and that their friendship is saved. And because they don't want to fight ever again, they call it off and they go home right before a winner can be declared. The crowd's booing, Mr. Krabs and Plankton are extremely unsatisfied because they left, but SpongeBob and Patrick don't care. They walk off into the sunset, happy and best friends again forever. So yeah, for once, Awkward Sports History had a pretty happy ending for the main contestants, but it's still awkward in the fact that, like I said, several contestants died. Mr. Krabs and Plankton are absolutely pissed, and well, the events are absolutely in shambles, but it's fine because, well, this is the only time we ever hear about this in the SpongeBob saga. That'll do it for this episode of Awkward Sports History. I'm Harrison, and I appreciate you guys waiting for my next upload. I know I'm still figuring out this upload schedule thing. It's not my forte, but I hope you guys are enjoying my videos. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.